Okay, so today we're going to talk about the properties of exponents, and this is going to be a part one of many part video talking about all of the properties of exponents. This first one, we're going to begin with the product rule. I just want to remind everybody, by definition of exponents, if I have x to the third power, what that actually means. So if I ask you to expand x to the third power, what that really means is x times x times x. And you will notice that I wrote this 3 times. There's 3 of them there. Okay, so once we understand the definition of exponents, what does that mean? We can actually take a look at a product. You will notice here that both of these have the same base. The base is x, but they have different exponents. And so what I want to do is begin by just simply thinking about what each one of these mean. If I take a look at the first x to the third power, that actually means that there are 3 x's. 1, 2, 3 x's. I'm going to go ahead and write it down as such. And then if I take a look at the second x here, that means that I'm going to have 2 more x's. If you put these all together and you count them, you can clearly see that there are 5 x's. And so this product rule actually allows us to be able to go from here directly to our answer without needing to expand. You will notice that I have 3 x's and I have 2 x's, therefore I have 5 x's total. I'm going to go ahead and generalize this rule for you very quickly. If I have x to the a power and I multiply it by x to the b power, what we can do is we can simply add the exponents. I'm going to go ahead and write a plus b. So this is our general rule of thumb when it comes to the product rule. I'm going to go forward in this video and do a few more examples just to kind of show you what they look like. But overall, this is what the product rule is. And when you have a product and the bases are the same, you can simply add the exponents. Let's go ahead and look at some examples now. Okay, so my first example is a very typical product rule where I have the quantity 3x to the 5th times negative 2x to the 7th. I've got 2 things going on here. The first thing is I have just a simple product, and so I'm going to go ahead and multiply the coefficients together. And so I've got the 3 and the negative 2. Those are going to multiply together to become a negative 6. The next thing that I want to look at is I want to look at the x's. I can go ahead and put the x's together, and if I think about how many x's I have 5 x's in my first term, and I have 7 x's in my second term. Therefore, there are going to be 12 x's total. Therefore, my answer is going to be negative 6 x to the 12th. Okay, so my next example here, you'll notice that we have more than one variable. We have variables with both a and b. We also have some coefficients. I'm going to begin by going ahead and putting together the coefficients first. So I'm going to multiply the 2 and the 5. 2 times 5 is going to give me 10. So we can just go ahead and put those together. The second term that I want to look at is I want to look at my a's here. I have 2 a's in that term, and I have 4 a's in the second term. When I add the exponents, I'm going to get a to the 6th power. The next term that I have to deal with is the b. And so even though there isn't a number written up here at the exponents, we do want to remember that there's actually a 1 there. So that is b to the 1st power, and that is I'm multiplying times b to the 8th power. Therefore, I'm going to have b to the 9th power. I can go ahead and box my answer here if I'd like, and you are finished. Next type of example I'd like to look at is in a scenario where you have actually multiplying more than one thing together. If you really think about what's going on here, with this first term, I actually have 3 x's. With the second term, I have 2 x's, And with the third term here, I actually have 4x's. And so if I count all of the x's up, you can clearly see what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 3 and I'm going to add 2 and I'm going to add 4 more to it. And therefore, I'm going to have all x3 plus 2 is 5, plus 4 more is going to be 9. Therefore, my answer is going to be x to the 9th. This last problem is really leading us up into a different property, but this can actually be handled by looking at it also as a product. If I think about the exponent on the outside here, this reads 2x to the 4th power, the quantity all to the 3rd power. And that 3 on the outside literally means that I want to write this thing 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. After I've completed writing it, you'll notice I've literally just copied what was on the inside here 3 separate times out. Now I can simply go ahead and use the product rule to actually finish this up. And so if I take a look at my 2's here, if I multiply 2 times 2, that gives me 4. I multiply it times 2 one more time, and that's going to give me 8. When I look at my x's, I can simply add all of my x's up. I have 4 x's here, I have 4 x's here, and I have 4 x's there. That is going to give me 12 x's total. There is actually a shortcut to this, another property of exponents that we're going to use later on, but you'll have to check out that video for that. I hope this explains the product rule for you when it comes to properties of exponents. I hope you have a great day.